The Madrid sun hit like a promise, warm, golden, and a little too optimistic. I stepped off the train with my duffel bag slung over one shoulder, jet-lagged but wired. Behind me, Luca laughed as he dragged his suitcase along the cobblestones like it was trying to escape him. "Dude, this street is ancient," he said. "Did people in the 1800s just not believe in smooth roads?" I smirked. "We're in Europe, Luca. That's charm." He bumped my shoulder with his. "Yeah, well, this charm better come with air conditioning. We were here for a 2-month Spanish immersion program, an international summer thing arranged by our college. I had signed up because I wanted the language credit. Luca had signed up because his ex was going to Italy, and he didn't want to spend the summer just being depressed. I had known him for a year. We weren't close before this trip, more like casual friends from Psych 101 who'd clicked over shared complaints and cafeteria coffee. I didn't expect we'd be paired as roommates. I also didn't expect it would matter so much. Our host family's building was tucked between a bakery and a tobacco shop. Señora Castillo greeted us at the door, warm cheeks, wrinkled smile, rapid-fire Spanish. Her apartment smelled like saffron and freshly mopped tile. "You boys come in," she said, gesturing excitedly. "Only one habitation, but big bed. Muy comfortable." Luca blinked. "Wait, one bed?" She beamed. See. Big like king size. You are good friends, no?" Luca turned to me, eyes twinkling. "Guess we're about to get a lot friendlier." I forced a smile. My stomach twisted, tight and sharp. "Yeah," I said. "No problem." He didn't know. He couldn't. That I had a boyfriend back home. That the idea of sharing a bed with him had short-circuited my brain. That just the way he said, friendlier, sent a shiver through me. The bedroom was cozy, dim with blue-tiled floors and lace curtains. The bed was wide but intimate, no pretense of separation. No couch, no pull-out, no way around it. Luca threw himself onto the mattress like he owned it. "Okay, this thing is soft. Not even mad anymore." He kicked off his shoes and sighed dramatically. "God, this is gonna be a vibe." I sat on the edge of the bed, trying not to stare at the bare skin between his shirt and low-riding jeans. "You know," I said carefully, "I can sleep on the floor if it gets weird." He rolled over to look at me. "What? No. Don't be weird about it. We're adults. You're not gonna catch feelings or anything, right?" He said it jokingly. Light. Casual. But my throat went dry. "No," I lied. "Of course not." That night, the city buzzed outside, motorbikes, music, foreign voices. Inside it was quiet. Luca brushed his teeth with the bathroom door wide open. He sang badly. Loudly. Shirtless. I texted Kyle. "Me, just got here." Me, host fam seems sweet. Me, weird thing though, only one bed lol. His reply came 3 minutes later. Kyle, seriously? That's odd. Kyle, but okay. As long as you're not sharing it with someone hot smirking face. I stared at the screen, then turned it face down. When I crawled into bed that night, Luca was already under the sheets. He smelled like soap and citrus, and maybe a little bit of wine from the tiny bottle we split at dinner. His leg brushed mine under the blanket. "Night, bro," he said softly. "Night." I lay awake for a long time. The ceiling fan spun lazily overhead. Our arms touched, then our hip. He didn't move. I didn't either. He shifted slightly, murmuring, "It's actually kinda nice having someone next to you." My heart thudded. I couldn't tell if he was talking to me or to the dark. I whispered, "Yeah." His breathing slowed. He fell asleep. I didn't. Instead, I watched his face in the dim light. Relaxed. Innocent. I told myself I could manage this. That I could stay faithful. That nothing was going to happen. But something already was. The days in Madrid blurred into something soft and dangerous. Morning café con leche. Shared glances over fried eggs and burnt toast. Evening walks along narrow streets that smelled like oranges and sweat. The city had rhythm. And so did we, me and Luca. A rhythm that felt more like a slow dance no one wanted to name. Everywhere we went, we were side by side. On the train, we shared earbuds. In class, we sat next to each other, laughing quietly over our messy Spanish. At home, we studied on the same bed, legs touching as he tapped answers into his phone. The closeness wasn't new anymore. But it wasn't safe either. He was reckless in that charming way he always had, affectionate without meaning to be. He'd nudge my shoulder with his head, steal fries off my plate, grab my hand to pull me through a crowded crosswalk like it was no big deal. Like touching me didn't mean anything. But it did. It meant everything. One night, after a salsa class we took on a dare, we found ourselves at a tiny bar. The room pulsed with heat and dim red light. Luca was already tipsy from 2 glasses of cheap sangria, and I felt brave in a way I shouldn't have. "You weren't bad," I said, raising an eyebrow. He laughed. "I was terrible. But you? You moved like you've done that before." "Maybe I have," I said, shrugging. "You don't know everything about me." He leaned in, voice low. "What don't I know?" The question sat between us too long. Then he grinned, defusing the moment. "Bet you were a heartbreaker in high school." I tried to laugh, but my mouth felt dry. "You have no idea." Back at the apartment, we were sweaty and half drunk. The fan did little to cut the heat. He stripped off his shirt without hesitation and flopped onto the bed in his boxers. I turned my back to change. When I climbed under the sheets, I made sure to leave space. He didn't. Luca rolled toward me. His arm brushed mine, then stayed there. "You're warm," he murmured. "You've said that before." He didn't reply. His hand slid lazily across my stomach, resting for a beat too long before he withdrew it like nothing happened. I couldn't breathe. The next day, I texted Kyle but didn't mention any of it. Me, Madrid's cool. Super busy. "Kyle, I miss you." Me, same. It was a lie. I missed the version of Kyle I remembered. But that version was starting to fade. His texts were routine now, concern, check-ins, vague joke. He didn't ask about Luca. Maybe he didn't want to know. That night, Luca and I studied for a language quiz. He sat close enough that I could smell his skin. He was freshly showered, something clean and citrusy. I leaned over to look at his notes and his thigh brushed mine. Neither of us moved. "Your handwriting sucks," I said quietly. He glanced at me. "Yeah, but yours is kinda hot. Like serial killer chic." I rolled my eyes. "Thanks." "Hey," he said, suddenly serious, "what's it like being in a relationship? For real?" I blinked. "What?" "You and Kyle. You've been together, what, 2 years? Almost 3. Damn." He paused. "Is it hard?" I stared at him. The question wasn't casual. Not the way he asked it. "Sometimes," I admitted. "Especially from far away. But I care about him." "Yeah." He looked down at his paper. "But do you still feel it? Like, when you talk to him, is it the same?" I swallowed hard. "Not always." He nodded. Said nothing. Later, in bed, I faced the wall. I felt the shift of his weight as he turned toward me. His hand grazed my shoulder, barely there, like an apology or an invitation. I stayed still. He pressed closer. His breath was warm against my neck. I could feel his chest rise and fall, feel the soft fabric of his sleep shirt brush my back. I closed my eyes. "You okay?" he whispered. "I don't know," I whispered back. The following afternoon, we skipped class and went to Retiro Park. We lay on the grass under a massive sycamore. He kicked off his shoes, closed his eyes, and folded his hands behind his head. "You ever wonder," he said, eyes still shut, "what would happen if we just let something happen?" I sat up. "What does that mean?" He opened one eye. "Nothing. Just wondering." I didn't answer. But that night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Let something happen. What would that look like? Would it be just one kiss? A quiet moment? Or would it be everything? When we got into bed again, I felt the silence between us buzzing. Luca reached across the space between us and touched my wrist. "Hey," he said. "Yeah. I'm glad you're here." He didn't let go. The night it happened, the rain came fast, soaked and sudden, like the city itself had something to confess. We had just finished dinner at a tiny tapas place tucked behind a cathedral. Luca insisted we stay for dessert, ordering flan in broken Spanish that made the waitress laugh and blush. He was magnetic that way, messy, open, careless with charm. On the walk back, we got caught in the downpour. He shrieked like a kid as the sky cracked open and water rushed through the alleys. I wanted to pull him close, but he beat me to it, grabbing my hand with a grin and yelling, "Run!" We burst through the apartment door, drenched and breathless. Our shirts clung to our skin. Luca kicked off his shoes and tugged his wet shirt over his head without hesitation. "Jesus, I'm soaked," he laughed, his chest heaving. I looked away too quickly. "I'll grab towels." The host family was gone for the weekend, visiting their daughter in Valencia. The apartment was quiet, private, dangerous. In the bathroom, I stared at my reflection as I toweled off. My pulse thudded in my ears. I told myself to breathe, to behave, to be loyal. But the air felt different, charged. When I came back, Luca was in nothing but a towel, sprawled across the bed with a glass of red wine in hand. "You want some?" he asked, lifting the glass. "Only bottle I could find in the kitchen." I hesitated, then nodded. "Sure." He patted the space beside him. I sat, careful not to touch him. He passed me the glass, our fingers grazing. I drank, ignoring the burn in my chest. He took it back, sipped, then said, "I keep thinking about what you said. About missing Kyle, but not really feeling it anymore." I stiffened. "That's not exactly what I said." He tilted his head. "It's what you meant, though." The silence between us pulsed. "I don't want to talk about this," I muttered. "Then don't talk." His voice dropped. "Just listen." I turned. His eyes were on mine, serious, unreadable. Then he leaned forward and kissed me. It was gentle at first. A question. I didn't pull away. My hands moved before I could think, into his hair, along his jaw. He tasted like wine and rain. His towel loosened. My pulse thundered. When he climbed into my lap, it stopped feeling like a mistake and started feeling inevitable. "Tell me to stop," he whispered against my neck. I didn't. I didn't say anything. We never said a word during. The air was thick with everything unsaid. It wasn't slow or delicate. It was frantic, aching, something between hunger and heat. Clothes vanished. Boundaries collapsed. And somewhere in the blur of mouths and hands, I forgot about guilt. I forgot Kyle. I forgot everything except how Luca made me feel. Wanted. Claimed. Real. Afterward, he lay on his side, eyes closed, chest rising and falling like nothing had changed. But everything had. I stared at the ceiling, heart pounding. My skin still buzzed where he'd touched me. A text buzzed on my phone. "Kyle. Hey babe. Thinking about you. Call when you wake up. Red heart." My throat tightened. Shame washed over me like cold water. Luca rolled onto his back. That was unexpected. I turned to him. "Was it?" He didn't answer. Just ran a hand through his damp hair. "You've been flirting with me for weeks," I said. "Flirting doesn't mean I wanted this." That hit harder than it should have. He glanced at me. "Don't get weird, Adrian. We were drunk. It happened." I sat up, pulling the sheet with me. "You kissed me first." "Yeah, and maybe I shouldn't have." His voice wasn't cruel. Just distant. Like he was already retreating into himself. I stared at him, naked and careless, and felt something break. "You said you wondered what would happen if we let something happen," I said. "Well, now we know." He sighed. "It was just a moment." I swallowed. "It wasn't just a moment for me." Luca didn't reply. He turned away. I slept on the far edge of the bed that night, curled in on myself. Luca didn't touch me again. Outside, the rain had stopped. but inside, everything was flooding. The sun came in too bright the next morning, like it was trying to expose us. Luca was already dressed when I opened my eyes. He stood by the window sipping coffee, shirtless, his hair still damp. He looked like any other day, casual, calm, untouched. Like nothing had happened. My body, sore and bare under the sheets, told a different story. "Morning," he said without turning around. I sat up slowly, my voice gravel. "Hey." There was a pause. Too long. "So, last night," I began, careful. He turned, finally looking at me. "Yeah," he said. "About that." I waited. He exhaled. "It was intense. But maybe we shouldn't overthink it." I blinked. "Overthink what, exactly?" "That we slept together." Luca rubbed the back of his neck. "I mean, it was one night. A weird one. Wine, the rain, all of it. We got caught up." "Is that what it was to you?" I asked. "Getting caught up?" He looked away. "I'm not into guys. I don't know what came over me. That hit like a punch to the ribs." I pulled the sheet tighter around me. I said. "I was into it. I'm into you. And I'm not going to pretend it didn't mean something." He hesitated. "I didn't mean to mess things up." "You didn't just mess things up," I said sharply. "You broke something." A long silence hung between us. "I thought we were just close friends," he added. "I didn't know you felt." "You did know," I cut in. "You knew exactly what you were doing. Every night in that bed, every look, every touch. You pulled me into this." Luca didn't respond. He didn't deny it either. I spent the day walking alone through the city, lost in a fog of guilt and longing. Madrid felt different now. The streets were too loud, the air too dry. Every couple holding hands made my stomach twist. I sat on a park bench and opened my phone. Kyle's name glowed on the screen. I stared at it for a long time. Then I tapped the call button. He picked up on the second ring. "Hey babe." Finally. I was getting worried. "Sorry," I said. My voice cracked. "It's been a strange few days." "You okay?" I hesitated. "I don't know." There was a pause. "Is something going on?" Another silence. I should have told him. Right then. I should have said, "I cheated on you. I lost control. I kissed someone else. I let someone else touch me in a way only you should." But instead, I whispered, "I think we need space." The line went quiet. Then, softly, "Is there someone else?" I felt the words crawl up my throat and choke me. "Maybe." Kyle didn't yell. He didn't ask for details. He just sighed, long and slow. "Okay. If that's what you need." It felt like the end. Because it was. When I got back to the apartment, the room was dark. Luca sat at the desk, scrolling through something on his laptop, pretending not to notice me. "I talked to Kyle," I said quietly. Luca turned, his expression unreadable. "How did that go?" "We're taking space." He nodded. "I'm sorry." "Are you?" I asked. He stood. Crossed the room. "I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I didn't plan it. But you let it happen." He didn't deny it. "I wanted it," he said finally. "But I didn't know what to do with it after." "You didn't have to do anything," I said. "Just don't pretend like I imagined it. Don't treat it like a phase or a fluke." Luca swallowed hard. "I'm not ready for what this could mean." I nodded. "Then don't ask me to carry it for both of us." That night, I took the couch. The bed felt too full of ghosts. I lay staring at the ceiling, every nerve raw, every thought loud. Around midnight, Luca walked into the living room. He stood over me for a second before sitting on the floor beside the couch, arms draped over his knees. "I miss how easy it was," he said. "It was never easy for me," I replied. Silence again. Then, quietly, almost tender, "You're the first guy I ever—" I didn't expect to feel this way. I looked at him. He looked tired. Wrecked in a way I understood. "I didn't expect it either," I said. He reached up, touched my hand. "I'm sorry I hurt you." I squeezed his fingers once, then let go. I need to figure out who I am. Without you. Without Kyle. Just me. He nodded. We didn't sleep. We just sat there. Two boys in a foreign country, bound by one night, broken by it too.